Welcome to Solar Expression Podcast, the podcast for your soul. Come on a journey with me to discover and understand your soul's purpose and what you truly can become. We are all connected. So let me help you feed your soul and heal your mind and body. It's all love. Welcome to our journey together. Souls, welcome back to Solar Expression Podcast. I know it's been a minute since I've been on, but I've been in my own little hole learning and studying and trying to figure out things for myself to help me help you grow. So, I'm back now, so be happy and enjoy me. Anyway, man, today, I got a lot of questions about uh how did I come to this point where I could just so easily accept things and get over things. And I tell you, it was a process. It wasn't something that just happened overnight. And kind of sort of it was in actuality. But the biggest thing is like there's some things that I did personally to assist in me getting through situations. And that some of them times I didn't even realize that I was doing these things, but now looking back in hindsight, I see that some of these techniques that I will talk about today, I had already put in place for myself, but I just didn't put them all together at one time until this point now. So, with that being said, I'll get this thing started. And the biggest thing about how I overcame things, the first thing was that I accepted what had happened to me. And for a lot of people, this is going to be one of the hardest steps. And this is the first step, is accepting it. Because a lot of people sit back and like, oh, I can't believe this happened to me. How could somebody do this to me? How could? But you have to accept it because it's happened. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing that's going to change it. It's happened. The only thing you can do is how you respond to the situation, how you handle it, how you accept it. So accepting it is the first thing. A lot of times that's going to be very difficult because that means you have to let go of a lot of the things that you were holding on to about the situation. So once you start to accept it and let it go, it'll make the next step a bit more easier, but you have to accept it and say, this has happened to me, whether good or bad, it's happened. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can change. So I'll accept it and move on. Now, with acceptance comes the next step, and that is letting go of all emotions attached to the situation. And when I say that, that means you can't have a feeling about it. You can't feel good, bad. You can't feel that it hurts you, it made you depressed. You have to let go of all emotions. You have to put those emotions in motion and move them out because they are no longer going to serve a purpose if you truly want to get over something. You can't overcome something if you're still harboring that emotion for it. Because emotions are very powerful. Very powerful. Hold on a second. So while you're holding on to these emotions, that builds a place in your heart. And it's going to stay there because you keeping that emotion. Like when you love someone, it stays there until you can find the resilience to no longer love them. And it's the same thing with events that have played out throughout your life. If you do not release the emotions attached to them, it's going to weigh you down, and it's going to carry you, and it's going to stay on your ass. Trust me. So you need to accept it and then release any emotions attached to it. And this is mainly for negative situations because most good situations, those don't affect you in a horrible way. This is mainly for those things that you can't get over and that you've been carrying with you for years, weeks, months. If it's something that you just started going through that that's been sticking in your head every day already, it's time to disconnect the emotion. It no longer serves you if you are trying to get over it because once you get over something, you're going to have to move that to the back of your head. Okay? So, no emotions now. It's just you and a situation. Now that you removed your emotions, the next step is to figure out what have I learned from the situation. And this is a multi-level question because you're gonna find out what you learned about yourself mainly. That's the main goal, is to find out what you've learned and what lessons has this situation taught you. Because, if you don't learn anything from the situation, you're bound to repeat it again. And life is a cycle of repetition. So those bad things that you had completed, it will come back around and you'll have to eventually find a way to overcome that situation to evolve to the next shoe. So what have I learned? What did I learn about myself? Did I learn that I can deal with a lot of shit? Did I learn that I can tolerate a lot? Did I learn that certain type of people aren't for me? There's plenty of things you're gonna learn, good, bad, and you have to take all that in. And you definitely want to be as non-biased with yourself as possible. Just like with removing the emotions. If you learn that you could talk to people better in situations, that's something that you've learned. And it's a good thing because now you know and you'll be more aware of it when you're dealing with people in your day-to-day interactions, which may change different situations for you. So you can't look at learning something negatively about yourself as something negative, because you've learned something and you can transition that into something else. So you always want to make sure that you look at each situation and say, what did I learn from it? Write it down. What did I learn about myself? What has this situation taught me? Because now you're not thinking about it emotionally. You're thinking about it as a moving forward process, the next step process. When you sit in your emotions, you're just doing exactly that. You're sitting in. This is about moving to that next step. And now you want to learn, what did I learn about the situation? Because it may be a situation at work, it may be a situation with love, a situation at home. It could be any type of situation, but you always have to ask yourself, what did I learn about the situation? Did I learn not to put myself in this position again? Did I learn that if I do this, I need to say something here or do something different? There's plenty of things that you can learn, but you have to take the time and sit and learn for yourself, because nobody else because nobody else is going to be able to give you that insight about what you learned about yourself in the situation. And both of these things, when you go into learning about what you've learned, it'll definitely help you see the situation in a different perspective, which is the main thing. If you keep looking at the situation in the same light, you're never going to move past it. So you have to think about the lessons that you've learned. And the third thing about what you learned is, if you're dealing with another person in a situation, what did I learn about that person? What did they teach me about them that I didn't know, good or bad? Because you might be in some situations and somebody may have been taking advantage of you and you're not realizing until you sit down and really put two and two together to see what would come of it. So if you're dealing with another person, you definitely have to analyze, what did you learn about them? Because that could be the biggest takeaway of everything, so that you learn something about somebody else that wasn't serving your best interests, and not in a selfish way. Because if somebody's coming in and they bringing their negative energy into your energy, that's going to weigh you down. It's just like the math equation. I heard this yesterday. A positive plus a negative equals a negative. So regardless of how positive you are, you have that negative person in your life, they're bound to weigh you down some kind of way if you let them. So just understanding the people that you allow into situations will help you better deal with situations. And if it's situations where you can't even control the people that you deal with, then you just have to, how can I say, invest the least amount of time with them as possible, if that makes sense to you. Even if you got to work with them, you work talk with them on work shit. You ain't got to have conversations and pull on, hey, this is what needs to be done, blase, blase. We move on. So you just have to understand that it's a process to letting go, and it starts within you. Nobody else can make you see it. Nobody else can tell you the lessons that you can learn. Because somebody else that you're dealing with, if they do the same thing, the lessons they may learn may be completely different than the lessons you learn. So you really need to focus on the situation from where it can benefit you and make you into a better person from the start. So that is key, because this is all about healing you and making you realize what points in your life that you can change for yourself to help make you better. And accepting and moving on from things is probably one of the biggest ways. Now, the fourth way, after you accepted it, you removed emotions, and then you figured out what you've learned. The fourth thing is to be grateful for the knowledge that you've gained. Because you could have gone to the situation and learned and went into it like every other situation before, and just been frustrated about it and angry and not looking at the bigger picture of lessons that life is granting you. So be grateful for the opportunity to be able to learn things about yourself, most importantly, because at the end of the day, you are the only person that's going to be with you all the time. So learning those lessons about yourself will probably be the biggest blessing that you can do when trying to move on from things. Because, and again, I'll say this, shit's gonna happen. I tell you what, I'm probably one of the most positive people you're gonna come across at this point in my life. But shit still happens. But you'll never know, because the first thing when something happens is what can I learn from this? What did I learn about the person? That's the first question I ask. I think I don't even react with emotions anymore, because emotions cloud you immediately. Like, okay, with the kids, I still flip out on them real quick because they know how to push my buttons, but I'm learning. Like I said, I'm still a work in progress. I'll yell real quick, but then I'm back to Zen B in a minute. So it's just a matter of learning yourself, learning how to control that emotion. Because it's okay to have emotion. Shit, I still cry and be sad and be pissed, but I don't live in those emotions. I accept them, I know what they are, I know why they're there, and then I release them, because I don't want to carry that weight. The only thing I want to carry with me is love. There's times where I can feel love and my heart just starts beating real fast. And I used to think something was wrong with me, because my heart would speed up for no damn reason. I wouldn't be doing that. But I realized that's love. That's what the love feels like when it's coming in or when I'm sending it out. And even if I don't know it, my heart speeds. My heartbeat get real fast. And I used to be worried, because they tell you, oh, your heart palpitations, all this and that. But nah, it was the love that I was receiving from people. And like, once you learn your body and understand the signs that your body is giving you, a lot of times it's not illness, it's not sickness, it's your body talking to you. It's your body talking to you. So again, look, that's something that I'm grateful for. So like I said, back to the fourth thing that you need to do when trying to get over something is be grateful for the knowledge that you gained about you, about the situation, about the person you deal with. Because knowledge is power. They can't take that from you. Once you learn and understand, then you might not even put yourself in situations like that again. You might not even deal with people that resembles somebody that you figured out what they're capable of doing to you if you allow it. So it's just a matter of being powerful in who you are and understanding that it's a situation that happened. There's nothing good or bad. There's nothing you can do to change it. Nothing. The person that did it to you, they may have moved on and don't even think about that shit because it wasn't that important to them, but it affected you. So now it's time for you to take control of that situation and take your power back from that person or from yourself. Take your power back from yourself from doing something stupid. It's okay. It happens. We all go through dumb shit. We do it. It's shit. That's part of the reason why I am here, because all the dumb shit I did to help me learn to be who I am today. And I am grateful for every one of those experiences that I had. So again, number 4, be grateful for the lessons you've learned. And the 5th thing of getting over things is when they come back up, because they will. But when they come back up, it's gonna be completely different, because there's gonna be no emotions attached to when it comes back up. Just you're gonna think about, oh, yep, I remember that. Yep, I learned that. And it comes up. And then be grateful for the fact that you can think about those memories, not be hurt by them, not get caught and pulled into those emotions again. Because they'll pull you in. Yeah, if you stay in that energy, the emotions will pull you. But once you let that shit go, they can't pull you in. You don't think about it, because we don't forget. You don't think about it, but now you'll be able to accept it. And see, I always say forgive and forget, but people don't understand how to do those things. It's a process, and I'm trying to give you my recipe for the process. And it's for anyone, and you can tweak it and tailor it any way you need for you. But at the end of the day, the process that I go through with each situation is, first, I accept it. Next, I take all the emotions out of the situation, because that in trying to figure things out, emotions only cloud your judgment. Once I remove all the emotions, I go through the learning process. What did I learn about me? What did I learn about the situation? What did I learn about anyone that was involved with me in the situation? And you can do any other what did I learn questions that may fit you in the situation. So don't just let it be those 3, but those 3 are really easy to remember, because it's always you, it's always a situation. Then other times there may be someone else or others, and you still have to learn from all of that. So do that. Number 4, be grateful for the knowledge that you have gained. That's probably the most important thing, is to be grateful, because you can be sitting in that energy still, but you have tools to move forward now. So do that. Use those tools. And number 5 is just, again, same thing. Grateful for when those memories come back up, that you have the strength enough to be able to release yourself from those emotions. Think about the situation in a clear-headed mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, okay. I see myself in that. Yep. I'm about to do the same dumb shit. But you've already processed the past situation and come to terms with them. So now you see them in a different light. You see when you're about to make those mistakes versus just stepping into a situation with foolish intent. So what I'm saying is, learn how to get over things, and it will heal you, because it will prepare you for things that you haven't dealt with yet. And when those things come up, you'll know how to deal with it. You'll be like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? People be like, how does shit not bother you? Because I start processing immediately. I probably remove emotions first. That's probably what I do. On things that's coming to me, I remove the emotions first. On the past shit, I do it different. But on things in the moment, I remove the emotions first. So, again, whatever works for you, you can do it. But just take the steps to doing it, because it's about healing you. I'm here to help you heal. And by giving you information that I use for myself, and trust me, for me, it worked. And it was a process. Every day still a process, because shit, I live in a great world, but everything else don't. So I have to be ready for that. And that's what this has done. So I appreciate you, beautiful souls, for spending time with me, listening to me, and just taking something away from bettering yourself. So until next time, vibrate high. Keep your soul alive. Think about what your purpose is, because your true purpose is to enjoy life. How you go about doing that is all up to you. I can't tell you how to do it. I just tell you what I know about purposes. Enjoy life. Live for that. How you do it, which way you do Peace.